Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. Four Caps Killer. So, I've been getting a lot of questions regarding the PlayStation Now and this whole cloud gaming service thing. First and foremost, people need to remember something about me. This is not my first rodeo with cloud gaming. I was the first, I would say, the first person to actually sign up with a OnLive service. I don't know how many of you guys remember OnLive. This is like way back in 2010, I think 2011 or something like that. It was a short-lived experience, and it was okay. It worked, but it didn't work smoothly. It was the first experiment on the cloud gaming, and my biggest negative about the cloud gaming is the fact that you are dependent on the internet. That's the number one thing that sucks is you depended on the internet. All right, that's the biggest problem. The second biggest problem is the fact that you don't own the game. Like this Tekken Tag that I'm playing right now on the PlayStation Now. For example, once the licensing expires, and if they don't renew the license with Namco, guess what's going to happen? You won't be able to play this game anymore on the PlayStation Now. So this is basically how PlayStation Now works. You have two options. You can number one, play it through your PlayStation console, PlayStation PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro console, and do it from the PlayStation, which is the best way to do it, honestly, is through a PlayStation. Or there's a second option, and that's you playing it through a PC, desktop, and a laptop. Any PC, desktop, and a laptop, you can play it. All you have to do is go to a PlayStation website and download the app. Once you download the app, it's going to prompt you to install it and update it, and then you can use your DualShock controller and connect your controller to a USB port, and you're good to go. All it's going to do is going to prompt you to do some firmware updates on this controller, and once that is done, you're good to go. And it works. As you seen me playing it earlier in this video, it works fine. However, you got to remember something, and this is the important part. Right now, I'm at home, and I'm using a wired Ethernet connection. Once I disconnect my wired Ethernet connection, the latency, it's terrible. As a matter of fact, the everything slows down here on the PlayStation Now app. Basically, they shut down the game for you because there's not enough bandwidth for the game to run from their server. And I think this is going to be the biggest issue, in my opinion, that people are going to experience with the cloud gaming. It's going to be the fact that not everyone's going to have that internet speed. Not everyone's going to have that Wi-Fi hotspot to be able to, stream the games on their Android devices, to be able to stream the xCloud games on their devices and their phones. I know Phil Spencer said this. He said that. I get it. I understand. It's still at the end of the day, he needs to sell a product. That's his job. First and foremost, that's his job. He needs to sell a product, and I get that. I'm not judging the guy. I understand that's his job. I would do the same thing if I was in his position, but I really am a bit skeptical about this whole cloud gaming thing. Let's say, for example, Until Dawn. Let's see. Let's try and let's play Until Dawn. Or better yet, let's do. Let's try something else here. Something better. Trying to find a good game here, like Sniper Elite 4. Let's see what else we got here. The Last of Us, Metal Gear Rising. All right, let's try Metal Gear Rising. Let's boot it up. Let's see how long it takes. All right, now it's preparing the game. Please keep in mind, I have 1 gigabit internet connection. I have a very high-end internet speed, and it's unlimited. And this is with the Ethernet cable being connected to my laptop. And this is a very powerful laptop. It's not like a crappy laptop. Okay, it has a 7th generation i7 processor, GeForce GTX 1070, 8 gigs of GDDR5 RAM. It has 16 gigs of DDR4 memory RAM on board. So it's not like a shitty laptop. It's a gaming laptop. And on top of that, I have a really good internet connection. You guys know how good my internet connection is. You've seen me live stream 4K games. Now look how long it took. It took about 2 minutes. Roughly 2 minutes to 3 minutes just to boot up a game. 3 minutes. That's a long time, man. Now imagine how long it's going to take if you're not at home, if you are with the Wi-Fi. With the Wi-Fi, it's going to take even longer just for you to start a game. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I'm skeptical, guys. You know, the reason I say I'm skeptical because this is not my first time experiencing cloud gaming. I was skeptical about it with the OnLive when they launched the OnLive. And I'm also skeptical about it now because here's PlayStation Now, and they bought a pretty good servers to run this from. I don't know the name of the server. I forgot from whom they bought it from. You guys can let me know down in the comments, and I apologize for that. But if I'm having a difficult time running these games, booting these games for 3.5 minutes with a lousy 720p resolution on a laptop with a Ethernet connected cable from my router, that's a 5 gigahertz router with a 1 gigabit internet speed, then God knows what I'm going to be dealing with a Wi-Fi, hotspot Wi-Fi. When I'm outside, when I'm on the road, when I'm not next to my home. So to me, this is the one issue and one problem that I notice, and it's the one issue and one problem that I think we most likely will experience in the cloud service gaming this holiday season. Now, I hope that I'm wrong. And I hope that they can prove me wrong and show me this holiday season that, hey, Mr. 4K, you're talking about Sony, you're talking about PlayStation. They don't have experience when it comes to the cloud gaming. We are the Google. We are the kings. We are the masterminds of the cloud. Same thing goes with the Microsoft. You know, we are the masterminds of the cloud with Azure. So, well, we'll see. But I have to be skeptical. Like I said, I have to be skeptical. As you would understand, I don't want to play a tutorial. This is going to just go straight right into it. I mean, the quality is just really not that great, honestly. Even for a laptop, I'm looking at this. It's very blurry. It's very pixelated. Guys, I just... I know that this is what they're trying to push, but this is why I'm not a fan of this, guys. This is why I have a difficult time supporting this whole cloud gaming service. Because I don't want to be dependent on the internet. I don't want to be dependent on someone's server. Like this game, for example. Once Sony loses a license to Konami for this game, well, this game will be pulled out. It's not going to be part of PlayStation now. It means you're not going to see it anymore. Okay? And I think, to me, personally, that's going to be an issue. The fact that you don't own these games. You're paying this ridiculous amount of money for the service. And with the Google Stadia, it's even worse. You're paying for the game, and then you got to play it from their server. It's even worse. On top of you paying the monthly subscription service. But there's some silver lining. The future doesn't look all that bleak because earlier today, or yesterday, I'm sorry, there was a video, I think I posted it on my community forums, with Giant Bomb, the guy who owns the Giant Bomb company. He's a good friend with Phil Spencer. It's called The Night 2 or something, the show. And he asked Phil Spencer, is the Project Scarlet going to be the last console? Because you just 2 years ago, you launched Xbox One X, and you said the Xbox One X is the most powerful console in the world. So many possibilities, blah, 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 blah. So what are you trying to say with the Project Scarlet? Is the Project Scarlet the last console? And he said, no, I look at Project Scarlet, it's something that's down the road for 3 years. 3 years? I mean, you want people to buy a console that's going to cost $600, and then it's going to last them 3 years until something else comes along? I don't know. It makes me wonder about what's going on, man, with the future of consoles. Are they turning into a PC? Is this turning into like a PC, man? I have a feeling like the consoles are turning into a PC. Seriously. To some respect. Yeah. Anyway, let's skip through this and let's play. Let me show you how it runs. Now, of course, it's going to look good here because I have my Ethernet cable connected. If I don't use my Ethernet cable, it's not going to run that great. But anyway, getting back to the Xbox and the Phil Spencer and maybe that's a great news. I'm glad that he said that the Project Scarlet's not going to be a last console. And that makes me feel happy because I don't want this, guys. Like, I don't want this. Like, I'm not a fan of this. I don't like this, guys. I'm not a huge fan of this. I like the ability to be able to own the game and load it up really fast with a solid state drive, like an instant. And I want to see the native resolution, native everything. This could be a good substitute if you're on the phone and you're bored and you want to play something to kill some time. I can see that being an exception. But I hope that it doesn't become like this. I hope that we don't live in a world where you're always going to be connected to somebody's servers, and then you have to hope that they don't lose a license on the game. And you can only hope maybe that the game is still there on their server. And I'm not a fan of that, guys. I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. I'm a fan of hardware and the physical media. Okay? Let's try another game. Let's close this. Let's close the game. Yes. Now, when it works, it works. When it works great. But that's when it works. Okay? Let's try... let's say... let's try Until Dawn. Let's see how long it's gonna take for the Until Dawn to load up here really quick. And the reason I'm making this video, I just want you guys to understand that I am skeptical about the whole cloud gaming thing, and I'm really not a fan of it. I really don't. I'm not a supporter. Yes, I will test Google Stadia versus the Xbox Project X Cloud servers, cloud gaming service. I will compare the two. I will give you my opinions on it and the pricing and which one's better, which one's not. I will do all that for you this holiday season. But I'm not a fan of this. To me, this is not something I want to support. And I hate to say this, but I hope that not that I really hope that people don't support Google Stadia and Xbox Cloud project, X Cloud, because to me, if it's being supported, that means that we're gonna live in a we're gonna live in a brave new world. We're gonna live in a brave new world where you're gonna have everything on the cloud, and I don't want that, man. So this is Supermassive Games. This is the Until Dawn. There it is, and it took about, I don't know, what was it, like almost a minute to load up, maybe less than that, maybe 48 seconds. All right, let's hit the new story. There's a butterfly effect. I'm gonna skip through this. I'm gonna just get I'm gonna skip through this. I'm gonna come back to the gameplay of the video. So here I am playing the Until Dawn. I mean, it looks good when it works. Like I said, this should be like an optional thing, and I hope that the cloud gaming becomes like an optional thing, where you can have the choice of taking this experience with you, but it shouldn't be something that's like mandatory for you to be only that way. What I'm trying to say is I hope that the cloud gaming turns into like an optional experience where you have a choice to take it with you and enjoy it. And I hope that it doesn't turn into a something that like you have to only play it on the cloud. So this news with Phil Spencer, where he said that the Project Scarlet's not going to be the last console, that gives me some hope and gives me some silver lining, letting me know that, hey, that the hope is not lost, that there's still consoles are here to stay. They're not going to go away, and that's a good news, I think, in my opinion. So as you can see, you can play the games. It runs. It when it works, it works. But how well is it gonna work? That'll depend on your Wi-Fi connections. That'll depend on your internet, and it also depends on the server. Depends on the PlayStation server and how well their server runs. So anyway, there you go, guys. I felt like making this video just to bring up the point on how I feel about the cloud gaming and what do I personally think about the cloud gaming, and is this something that will take off in a big way, or is it something that it's going to be an optional? I really hope that this whole thing becomes an optional service, But remember, if Google Stadia becomes very successful, that's going to be a problem for the consoles if Google Stadia becomes very successful. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I am skeptical about this whole thing with cloud gaming, and I'm not a huge fan of this. I guess I want you to understand this is a cool option to have, but I'm not a huge fan of this, you know, just to let you know. I like to own a physical copy of the game, and I like to play it on my hardware. Well, I hope this video kind of clarifies how I feel about this whole cloud gaming thing. The time will tell, you know. So this is just my thoughts and opinions, and my opinions can change in the future depending on how well does it work. You know, opinions can change, guys. All right. So if you watch my video again, you know, 4 months from now, and I'm talking about, you know, Google Stadia in a, you know, in a positive way, or the X Cloud in a positive way, that means that, hey, well, you know, they're doing something right. All right. But until then, this is how I feel. You know, I'm a bit skeptical about it. All right. Thank you guys for watching this video. Appreciate it.